Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday, our Curse of Strahd campaign. We are on session 6, hanging out in Barovia. I'm Charlie. I'm the DM for this group, and we will go through and do introductions. And it looks like Cody, you are up first.
Up first, cool. I'm playing Apollo, the satyr bardlock, and I'm here to make your day worse.
Oh gosh, I read that. So I'm looking at the thing, and I'm normally the upper left-hand corner, and I guess Matt, I thought we looked alike today. Matt, you were first. You're second now, rather.
Yeah, that worked perfect. Hello, everybody. I'm Matt. I am Taslin Smoothmouse, the our little tiny rogue. So it's nice to see you all today.
Heather, you're up.
Hi, I'm Heather. I am playing Harper, the Human Ranger.
Nice. And Aaron, you're up. Oh no, am I the only one who can't hear Aaron?
I can't hear you, Aaron.
I can't hear him either.
Okay. Aaron, we can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear us, but we can't hear you.
It's called Discord decided to be dumb.
We can hear you now.
Anyway, hello everyone. I talk to myself. It's a lot. It happens a lot. It's fine. I promise. I am playing the living action figure that is Theobald Cottontail.
Yes. we need to get an action figure made. Alright, who would like to tell us what we have been up to?
Well, I wasn't there at the beginning of the session, so I know Matt got a really cool sword. Or, my bad, Caslin got a really cool sword.
A terrifying sword. I guess I can do this one finally again. I got to look back at my notes a little bit. So we had gotten out of the house, Durst Manor, and at least the sword that I carried out turned out to be it turned into some kind of a bone sword and everything like that. I'm trying to remember everything that actually happened. We do still have Lancelot. He's still alive somehow. We kind of wandered around for a little while, kind of following Lancelot's lead as we went, and he made it. He led us to these terrifyingly large gates. So that's something at least. But then upon going through those gates, we stumbled across a dead body with what seemed to be kind of wolf prints around it and a letter in its hand. And by the time that Harper was grabbing the letter, Apollo was reaching for it too, and came away with it. Actually, we were all somewhat surprised to see him. He was a very surprising encounter there. And then we kept on moving. Especially because we saw a couple of wolves kind of nearby, but none of them really ever came up to attack us at all. So that was nice. And then we made our way to was the actual name of the town Barovia? I can't remember for sure.
Yeah, it's Barovia.
Perfect. Yeah. So we made it to the town. Found a statue depicting someone wearing some armor, carrying a sword, named Bismarck Burgomaster of some sort, Bane of Vampires.
Can I just say, Matt, my highlight is reading and being like, oh, I gotta pronunciate more when I read your notes. It is Ismark, just like
Ismark.
yeah, so he's named after his grandfather.
That's I got it almost right. So.
No, there were a couple of things where I was like reading it and it's like, oh, I definitely have to make sure I'm saying things more clear. That's on me. I grew up in speech.
Oh, that's all good. So, but then we, as we were walking around town, we also did hear well, did I say we heard a woman crying? Thought about going in to talk to her, but then instead went to a tavern because that's always how we deal with our problems. And yeah, and then in the tavern there, the barkeep was fairly monotone, really no spark or anything. Then I believe Harper and Apollo. I can't remember for sure. I think Theobun went to talk to the three women also, and uh, yeah, they were very insistent that we should go to the castle Ravenloft, but we decided to also I decided to speak with oh boy, what was his name again? Oh, Ismark, also named Ismark. I'm putting two and two together here. uh, and he told us about his sister who has been kind of plagued by Strahd, and let us know that if we would like to, we could stay at his house in return for helping him get his sister out of this area. Uh, and down the road, I guess, possibly taking care of Strahd at the same time. So, and then we kind of left off there. So, after having a good conversation about all of that. So,
Yeah. All right, take some well-earned inspiration, my friend.
that was a very full session.
This might
Well, and
be just
and what's crazy is you all went a lot faster in that session than I was like anticipating. And now like listening to you recap, I'm like, I don't know if I was trying to have them push you all towards the castle, but I guess we will go with that.
Well, they just seemed like that was about the only thing to go and see in the area. So,
Oh yeah, because
that was their
you were asking for
word.
tourists. You were asking like what tourist destinations can we go to? Okay, that context makes it make a lot more sense.
You sold us, Charlie. We're going to the castle.
Yeah.
Oh
yep,
god.
that's instantly.
Apparently, Barovia doesn't have any good rock formations or anything.
No,
No,
No
you all
waterfall.
have to give me like some. I'm gonna need to know well in advance when we're going to the castle because that thing was a pain to set up on the map. So I cannot imagine running the castle. How fun that will be.
It's fine.
It'll be fine. All right. So where we last left off, the group was, I believe, exiting the tavern with Ismark, and you had, I think it was Apollo, rather, had grabbed a bottle of wine, wanted to take it to the woman that Ismark identified as being Mary. If he didn't, he just did. That has been crying because of her lost child. Is that where we are picking up from?
Sounds accurate.
Yep.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As the group continues walking and leaving from the tavern, Ismark kind of directs you on where to go naturally, being here from the village of Barovia. And as you are walking, the wailing becomes increasingly louder. It's very evident that you are getting closer to it, and Ismark leads the group to where he pretty confidently points and says, well, if you're wanting to console her, she is right in through this home here, through the door. I am sorry. And he kind of hangs his head down. You must understand, my father just died 3 days ago, and I have no answers that I can give to her, and I already feel terrible. I keep on disappointing everyone with not having answers. If it's okay with you, I will continue home. You won't be able to miss it. And he gestures, and you can see a larger home at the end of the street that you were on. And he goes, it's that one there at the end. where the road forks. I will prepare your sleeping quarters and go ahead and make up some food for you all as well. And if you would like to speak with Mary, be my guest, but I'm not sure. Well, maybe you'll get farther than I have. It has been difficult, if you could imagine.
That's all good. I think we can see about talking to her. If you just want to head back home, we can just see you there then.
I think that will make the most sense. Like I said, I will prepare some sleeping arrangements for you all. I'm assuming you all will want to stay because I know the tavern there hasn't really kept up with the rooms. I don't even know if they've been renting them out. So I will go ahead and get to on that. He bends down and gives Lancelot a little scratch behind the ears, and then bids the group farewell. As you are standing there in front of the house, you hear a loud moaning sob that just floats through the still gray streets, and it washes over you with a ping of sadness. What would the group like to do?
I'll reach up and kind of nudge Apollo in the middle of his back and be like, "This seems like your spot."
I mean, I don't want to be known as the one who consoles crying women, but I guess since I have the bottle of wine, I'll take the lead, and I'll give the door a knock.
Yeah, you give the door a knock. Doesn't seem as though it was quite loud enough. Nah, the crying is just insistent, but no one comes to the door.
I'll say quite loudly, "Anybody home?" Just wait for an answer.
No answer comes. Lancelot begins kind of scratching at the door, and you take notice, and you notice, there, like, it seems as though this household, has had a pet or a dog in the past because, like, there are scratch marks on the outside of the door that, like, weren't something that Lancelot just did. They're pretty old.
I'm gonna look at the party and say, "Don't think bad of me." I'm gonna check to see if the door is open. just twist the knob a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much. It probably would have only taken one more knock or a little bit more force. You go and, like, jingle the knob a bit, and it opens ever so slightly. As the door cracks open, Lancelot pushes the door the rest of the way, and you see Lancelot go just kind of rushing, like, right into this home. As you, I guess, are you going in or standing?
Well, now I have a reason. I'm gonna follow the dog.
Okay. Yeah.
No, Lancelot, no.
Yeah, you begin calling for the dog. You see that this house, it's a 2-story home, and the bottom is about 40 square feet. It's boarded up. It's barricaded from the inside. You can hear the crying, of course, has gotten louder, and Lancelot immediately takes to the small staircase and darts right up as soon as you all have stepped through.
I mean, we should follow the dog, right?
Heard this was going to go for a good time.
You know, Caslin, we kind of gave you responsibility to keep a hold of Lancelot there. You didn't really exactly do that there, now did you?
The little tiny amount of food I gave him just gave him so much more strength than me.
Are you sure that's what it was?
I have a good feeling, at least. I don't know. Maybe he just he seemed like he knew the place. I don't know.
Yeah. As you all
Anyway.
kind of go ahead.
Anyway, I'm a bit curious as to what the boards and barricades are for, so I'm gonna take a look at them if y'all want to deal with the morning woman. I guess that's what you can call her for now.
Mm.
It sounds
No,
like the crying is coming from upstairs where Lancelot has taken off to.
Gonna say if one of us broke in, we're all breaking in. You're coming with us.
If
Oh,
you
I
are
didn't
wanting
say I was leaving.
if you want to take a look around the first floor, roll me an investigation.
Oh, well, now that's not all that good for me. I didn't roll too bad.
Oh, that's pretty good. All right. You take a look around the first floor of this old, dirty home. You can see there's like a one room. It's like divided living space. You see to the north there's a small kitchen. The house it's dirty. It's not been upkept at all. It's caked with dust. Um, Taking a look at the boards themselves, it looks as though the windows have been long broken out as part of it, so it's just kind of a way to replace the glass, if you will, without spending the cost of getting the glass sized and replaced. Um, Taking a look around in the kitchen area, you do see that there is a broken glass that's on the floor. At the table, there are two place settings that have been set and two meals that uh, look as though they have long since gone past their prime. And you see there's a small like sitting area with a fireplace and two chairs and a very dirty, dusty rug. A couple of you sneeze looking at it.
Now, this is just a disappointment. If I left my place like this, if I left my uh residing place back at the monastery like this, my mama would have had my fur over the mantle.
I'm getting real scary house vibes that we just left.
Yeah, I mean, the like level like it does kind of. It's not quite as dusty as like the attic and things were there, but like it's definitely reminds you of that. And then of course there's the staircase that's leading up where Lancelot has darted.
Gibbon's just gonna do some basic housekeeping because his sensitive rabbit nose cannot handle this. So
Are you dusting with your bunny tail? Because that's all I can think is you're just walking around shaking your little bunny tail all over.
he was mainly gonna take care of the rotten food first, and then he was gonna attempt to find a broom or something that he could use to dust and clean things up.
Not his bunny tail.
I'm sorry. He's got a tiny little tail. That tail ain't gonna do very much.
You were right. You probably need
See-
a broom and to take those rugs out and beat them. Yeah, you begin cleaning up some.
Does it look like there's any sign of other animals? Because you said there was like animal marks. Do we see any animals?
You see in the kitchen area that there is like a small dish of water. And it looks like when you look that there's like the ring where another small dish would be, presumably for food.
Right, guys, let's find this damn dog.
Um, I'm not even sure if that dog's still around, but if y'all want to look for it, go ahead.
The woman is still
I
crying
guess
in the
so.
background.
I'll follow up after Lancelot and just kind of like really quietly just Lancelot. Oh, come on, Lancelot.
Yeah, you go up to the second floor, and up there are it's like a really I mean, this is such a small house. Like 2 stories. I mean, it's like a tiny house, I guess, almost it feels in reading it. But you see 3 wooden doors.
Is Lancelot like kind of jumping at one of them or like standing
Um,
at one of them or
Sorry, I like pause before I finish.
oh,
There is one door that is slightly ajar that you can see. Looks like enough space for Lancelot to have fit through.
I'll look behind me and see if anyone else is behind me.
Yeah, I'm right behind you.
Okay.
Is the crying coming from that door?
Let's see. You as like you're standing and listening, I mean it is wailing. It's really kind of hard to tell because the rooms are super close together. It's further, so there's 2 doors that are like right next to each other, and then there's one that's like right when you come up the stairs. And so it's very clear to you it's coming from one of the two, but from where you're standing on the staircase, you can't quite pinpoint which one it is.
I want to say loudly, excuse me, miss. We're not here to rob you. We just came to check if everything's all right. And try to say it louder than her wailing.
Roll me a performance.
Alright, guys. I got this. I have high charisma.
I'm just being silly. Okay, you got this.
Oh no.
You think you were shouting, but really it is a loud whisper and it doesn't carry through. The wailing is far too loud. It just chokes out your calling for her. I mean, it's basically like if a toddler is having a tantrum, like trying to get them to, at least in my experience, trying to get them to listen to you, like they're not having it. The only thing that they can focus on is they're crying. That's what's happening here.
Mm. Well,
I guess I'll start to move to the cracked open door, see if I can find Lancelot.
Yeah, you move towards the door that's been cracked open, and you can see what is very clearly a children's room inside. You take a look, and to the left of the door is a bed, and you see Lancelot is like kind of snuggled his way like right into this bed, almost as if it's home.
My heart suddenly breaks. But Lancelot. No.
As you approach and you are standing outside of the other one, it is clear to you that the sobbing is coming from behind the closed door.
Terror.
mm,
I guess for the time being, I'll just kind of leave Lancelot where he's at. He seems like he kind of belongs here.
I don't want to lose Lancelot, guys.
There's
We had art
always
made for him and
choices.
all.
I'm just saying to the party, let's just find this woman. Jeez.
Let's just beat her and take the dog.
Free dog, free home.
So Leobun is finishing up downstairs.
Are you all? Shit,
Makes
you
his
all
way-
left the bun?
yeah.
We split the party.
God.
So you expect me to clean? Come on.
He
Alright,
at least took care of the food. That was the main thing. His nose is not quite as annoyed as it was previously by the smell of rotten food.
Yeah, you pick up that plate and you see something just right out of the corner of your bunny eye start wiggling. You think it's gone bad, so bad that there are maggots that have started to take root in that food.
Oh, thank God it wasn't a mimic.
No one's redeemed that yet.
Would Theobald know enough about food to know about generally how long of a time a food would have to sit out in order for that to happen?
Do you as a person know how long food has to sit out for that to happen?
Oh, fuck no.
Okay, roll me a.
It's more than a few days. I know that.
Right. For Theobald, go ahead and roll me a. I feel like that's survival, nature. No.
I don't know yet.
Yeah, you're just not too sure. I mean, it's super off-putting to you, and so like you try not to really think about it too much.
Theobald's just gonna kindly look up the staircase, look at the rotten food, which I'm assuming there's just like a small wastebasket. Excuse me. Small
Yeah,
wastebasket he puts it in. And he begins climbing up the stairs. He reaches the top where everyone else is. Y'all decide not to wait for me. That's really not very nice now, but I'm a bit concerned because like the food was bad. Not just like spoiled, but like spoiled to the point where there was an infestation growing in it.
Gosh,
I'm
I've
not
gone off
sure
the
if
deep
this
end.
person I'm not sure if this person, if they're human, could still be alive. Or if they are alive, they're definitely severely malnourished.
And then I'll kind of point into the room, but Lancelot was here at some point, I'm guessing, because he's all snuggled in the bed right now. So
I mean, he is a dog. It's just the thing dogs do. If you let them, they'll just climb in a bed.
Has Harper had a dog like just run into their bed? A strange dog.
I mean, Heather has had plenty of dogs that decided they're just gonna go jump in their bed. So
Are we talking in the third person now?
yeah,
Okay.
I did say I
Well,
was gonna start working on that.
well, Charlie over here says, "Bullshit! If they come upstairs, I'm gonna hit those dogs." No, I would never. But if they come up here, I'm gonna be mad because then it's carpets. Yeah, so maybe Lancelot just wanted to take a nap. You all have like walked that dog all around,
true.
and he's skin and bones. What would the group like to do? You haven't gone into the room, so you're standing in this hallway. You have the door that's kind of ajar. You can see Lancelot. The other door is shut. You can hear crying, and then there's a third door that's like right off the top of the stairs that is also shut.
I know Caslin would disapprove, but I am gonna go grab Lancelot because I think having a dog with us would be a better impression than just a bunch of guys just breaking into this woman's home.
Go ahead and make an animal handling. Let's see if you can get Lancelot out of that bed.
Oh god, Harper can't ranger. This is not gonna end well.
None of your rangers can ranger. I don't know why. Yeah, that Harper also cannot. Well, since you have moved in, I will go ahead and tell you what you see as you are trying to convince the dog to leave the bed, and it's not happening for you. Ranger can't ranger. So this room is it's clearly a child's room. You can see that there's a tray when you first come in that has a broken tea kettle and a cup that's shattered on the floor. You can see that the window is open, and then there are, besides the bed, or I mean really it's kind of like cot size, like it's a very small bed. You can see over on the other side of it that it looks like there are 3 other small sleeping areas set up in addition to this bed. That you take notice of. Basically, kind of like a sleeping pad on the floor with a blanket and a pillow. Very dusty, very dingy in the room. And you can also see that there's a small wooden shelf as well. It's pretty empty overall, but on it you see that there's a book, and you can see some clothing on it. Looks like a dress, some small carved figures, and there's a hairbrush. On the rug, which looks just like the rug downstairs, you see a very chewed up bone, and that is that room.
I am gonna go close the window just because we don't want raccoons or anything getting in. I don't know. And
You
I
don't
am
want
gonna.
those city raccoons coming in.
Dude, I'm
No,
sure
I know.
raccoons are like rats.
I know, they can be everywhere.
Goddamn Barovian raccoons.
Oh, God.
Probably worse than regular raccoons.
We don't want to mess with those raccoons. Don't try keeping those as pets.
And then I
Vancouver.
will pick up that book.
Okay, you pick up the book. It is very worn. You can see on the cover, just like in what you some of it's still there. Others, the coloring has kind of faded, but it looked like it had a golden hue to it, and it says "Stories from Barovia."
I'm actually gonna take that book because that could be useful later. And something tells me that woman probably won't be needing it. So
Well then, just steal from the children.
yes, I'm gonna be a worse person than Catherine.
The poor dead children.
Those children. The wailing just continues. You can hear the floorboards creaking. It sounds as though she is rocking herself back and forth as you all steal books.
All right. Guys, time to open this door. I'm gonna
Do
cast
I
guidance on myself beforehand.
Do I gotta be the brave one here? I'll start to reach for the handle.
Diabon's just gonna kick the door open. I'm tired of this.
You're just kicking
I'm just-
it.
I'm just saying,
Yep.
wait! Don't need to give her more stuff to cry about.
Yeah, but everyone knows you're supposed to shout Navy SEALs before you kick in the door. Come on.
Oh God.
Now
Roll
I
me
got
a
a door to
strength on
fix,
that
a
kick.
child to find.
Roll me with some strength on that kick that you just gave. Okay, yeah.
It's a pretty strong kick.
Yeah, you just give it a good old thud, and the door, as you kick it open, the door swings, and with the force that you've given, it hits the wall behind it, and it starts coming back towards you, but of course you probably are stepping through. Go ahead.
Yeah. Diabon would also stick out his hand to catch it and then step aside. All right, now y'all more civilized folk can go in. I'm sorry, this was starting to get a little annoying for my sensitive rabbit ears.
I think it was open. I'm gonna walk through.
Well, it's open now.
That it is.
Do we see the figure who's crying?
You do. Yep, I was getting there. I'm sorry, I was just taking a breath. You walk through this door, and you can see a probably about middle-aged woman that is sitting on the floor. Her back is to the door. She hasn't even like turned to acknowledge you all coming through. She is very rhythmically rocking like back and forth. It sounds as though she is humming or even like singing a bit of like a nursery rhyme as she's rocking. And she has like clutched in her arms, like holding it super tight, a doll figure, but like it's not any doll, because of course why would it be? Um, it's a rag doll. It has like a sack clothing on it, but it looks very strange to you all. But she is holding that doll and rocking back and forth, singing as she does. And I mean, she just seems completely unaware of her surroundings right now. And judging by the smell that is emitting from this room, like she has not been taking care of her hygiene for quite some time. And I mean, this room is also in that same like state of dirt, filth, dust as the house has been so far. You can see that she is sitting there as she's rocking. She is drawing, it looks like posters or flyers on the floor. I mean, they're all spread out all around her. I mean, at this point she's rocking, so she's not writing it, but it looks as though she had been working on creating some flyers to hang up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you were standing there behind her, seeing her.
Once again, I'm going to try saying very loudly, "We're not here to rob you. We just wanted to see if you're okay." Any reaction? I'll even go like right behind her and tap her.
My Gertruda, where is my Gertruda? Do you have news for me? Where has she gone?
I don't even know you.
Then why are you here if you're not here to bring my Gertruda back to me?
Is Gertruda your daughter?
Yes. And all I have is her doll. She's gone missing.
Oh. Do you need help getting her back? I'm going to try to treat her like a child.
Yes, I've been trying to find her. I've been making flyers. And
maybe we should move
holds up to you one of her hand-drawn flyers that she's been putting together.
I'm going to try to pick her up a little bit and be like, I think we should move you to a table because I think you shit yourself. It smells very bad in here.
Okay. And she kind of lets you help. She hasn't like turned to like look at you really at all, but like she kind of like leans back a little bit, letting you kind of help her get up off the floor. And there is a small like drawing table desk area in the room that you can take her over to, and she kind of slumps down into the chair and like puts her weight onto the desk, and like and she sighs and, oh, my Gertruda, do you know where she is?
Sadly, no. I'm gonna look to the party and be like, I think she's fucking crazy.
Theobon looks to the party and he just like points to his head and then makes a breaking set and makes the like you're breaking something in his hands. Trying he thinks she's just suffered a straight up mental breakdown.
Mm.
Gertrude is my baby. My baby girl. I need her back. I keep asking for help, and no one's been able to find her.
You know where she was when when she got lost?
Well, I kept her in the room, and I went to bring her some tea, and the window was open, and she was gone.
Like, kidnapped?
Oh no! You think she was kidnapped? I don't have money. What
First
did
off,
they want?
what do you think happened? Before I jump to conclusions.
I don't know. I worry so much for her. The world it's a dangerous place. It's scary out there.
Theo's gonna look to Harper and kind of motion out of the room with his head.
I will gladly take that invitation to leave.
Not allowed.
Theobon's gonna get them towards the bottom of the staircase, enough so they're out of immediate earshot, and Theobon's just gonna look at Heather. I'm not sure what exactly happened here, but number one, I don't think she let that child go anywhere or do anything. Because she said she kept her in that room. That was her words.
Mm.
That's a little terrifying to me.
Now that I think about it, have we seen any other kids running around? Do you think
No, I mean
everyone does that?
you all have seen the whole house. You've not seen any other kids.
I think she meant in general since
Yeah,
we
in
arrived
general.
in town.
In town?
Yeah.
I mean, oh gosh, I have lost track of time of day. There are kids around. I don't you haven't seen anyone free roaming the street, but there are kids.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm pretty sure she is just mentally broken at this point.
Well, the other concern I have is, so I went into what I'm assuming is the child's bedroom, and so there was one bed and 3 other sleep spots. So did this woman lose all 4 of her children, or because that's kind of weird too.
I mean, she looks to be about middle age. It's possible that this Gertruder was just the last one in the house and the others have already left the house at this point.
Mm. I mean,
Because if they were all young, it would be incredibly odd that she's just panicking over this one.
yeah, just thinking back, I am gonna pull that book I stole, and I'm gonna see if there's anything weird in that book, just with a quick flip through, weird ass pictures or anything.
Of course you are. Of course, that's what you're gonna do with a book. Meanwhile, Caslin has a book called The History of Caslin, and he ain't even reached for it since.
I actually completely forgot about it.
Yes, it's okay though. I knew. I mean, I gave you the book. I knew there'd be something with the book. So you thumb through. There are nursery rhymes and stories, but there's one that seems to be more read than others as you are thumbing through, and as you take like a quick scan of it, one, it's extremely hard to like not hard. You are worried that like holding the page that it's just going to completely give because it's that level of worn, very easily torn. And as you are reading and looking it over, the story reads about a about a young girl who had been locked away for a very long time, but then her prince arrived and took her to the castle.
Shit. Okay.
Like, but this is clearly like part of the published book, so it's not something
Yeah.
that the
It's not
child
like
had
she
written.
wrote.
But yeah, but that's the one that seemed to be read the most over and over again. Like it has the
That
most ear tags, pages folded and whatnot on that.
yeah. Like that was one the childly obviously like the best.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Obviously, it was not
it,
Cinderella, because have you seen the
yeah.
house?
It was like more like Rapunzel. Okay. Um. Hmm. So, have you read?
Anything in that book?
Uh. Well, the the most read story was one about a young girl who was locked away, and then a prince came and took her to a castle. So, I think we can maybe make our own assumptions there.
I mean, if we believe my speculation, that fits right with what has been going on.
Hmm.
I don't think this mother's right in the head.
No, I'm gonna agree with you on that one. I mean, even if we find the child, it might not be best to bring her back here, but at the same time, it's not like we have anywhere else to take him.
Um, that's assuming we find them.
True, but
And I hate to sound harsh, but it may be best if we put her out of her misery.
Oh shit!
I mean, she's not.
Just choked on my drink.
Let me explain.
go
But
ahead.
first
I'm all
off,
ears.
she's not taking care of herself. She's in a pile of her own
No, you all
excrement
assumed she
and
was in
vomit.
that. I just said it smelled bad. I've gone 4 days without showering too, and I'd hope my wife would just put me in the bath.
I mean, Theobald's thought process is she has not left that room in several days.
That's fair.
Given the status of the room, the spoiled food downstairs, the dust everywhere.
It only takes 2 days for maggots to form.
But we
Does
we
it?
did actually see her downstairs just earlier in the night.
Oh yeah, when we peeping tomed.
Yeah.
That was bad DMing. Bad DMing. I didn't.
Oh.
Okay.
I wasn't ready last week. It's a 2-story house, so you saw her shadow through the upstairs window. It's funny how things randomly come back to you all. Yeah, I mean, Theobald has. I will give you that all makes sense. I just wasn't expecting it, Aaron. That's all.
I
um,
mean, but like Theobald's explaining his thought process is
Yeah.
basically she's not taking care of herself. She seems like she has very little to live for. The likelihood of us finding her daughter is incredibly small
Mm,
because we have no leads at all, other than that the window was left open and somebody came in through the window and took her. I mean, we haven't investigated outside. Perhaps there's footprints or something outside we could find, but it's been at least a few days. So the likelihood of there being any tracks or anything left is quite small that are intact.
yeah, Harper's kind of regretting closing that window now.
while you all are downstairs, Apollo and Caslin, you are upstairs. The woman is, she is, I wouldn't say calming down, but a little bit more bearable, I guess we would go with. And, which one of you have the highest passive? Oh, yeah, it's gonna be Caslin. You just hear her stomach, like, rumble, like she is starving. As she is sitting there, crying, going on about her daughter, clutching that rag doll, still kind of rocking, even though she's sitting up in the chair. And like as her stomach gives this rumble, and she like locks eyes and realizes like that you certainly have heard. Oh my, I'm so sorry. I don't think I've had anything to eat since this happened.
Oh, that's no problem. I'll bring I'll just like bring a ration out of my bag for her to eat. And I'll ask her, did you perchance have a dog named Lancelot?
Um, she she looks at you. That was Gertrude's puppy. I don't know where he's gotten to. She's gonna be so upset with me. Lancelot has been like kind of since you brought him out of the room and into that room, like he is hovering behind and away from Mary. Um, as she like says that, and you're handing the ration, and oh, thank you for this. Though, do you, if at all possible, I'd like a dream pastry. They're the best pies in town. Do you think you could get me one?
Well, I'll look at Apollo. Should we
I-
leave her alone or?
One, I don't know what that is. Two, you look worse for wear. Can I do a medicine check on her, just like to look her over, like see if she's ill or something?
Yeah.
I'm sussed.
Especially now that Lancelot's not wanting to go anywhere near her.
She smells.
Hold on.
My dogs don't
I was
come near me
guided
when
as
I
well.
go a couple days without a bath.
So 17, because I was guided.
Um, you take a look at her and stuff, like you ask her if you can just take a check. One thing that you do realize, like, I mean, she's just smelling bad. You don't think that she has actually shit herself. You just think this is this level of BO that we're at. She is not sitting in a pile of shit. But you do take a look over. Her skin is pretty dry. I mean, it's very clear. Like her hair is kind of that matted mess that it gets to if you go a while without combing it and stuff. But like as far as anything like sickness or anything, I mean, she looks pretty malnourished to you. Like, well, and I mean, it's kind of hard. Like she looks as though she hasn't had food in a while. Like you just kind of get that sense. Um, she's not skin and bones or anything like that, but like you can kind of sense that, and like doing like a capillary test with the fingers and stuff pressing, like it's clear she's dehydrated as well.
All right, we'll go find you a dream pastry. So, what she asked for?
Yes, and she goes, they have the best flavors. Anything will do. Red berry and pine nuts, or the green leaf and cheese, or even the chicken and herbs. Anything.
I will tell her. I do think that you should eat the ration though that I gave you. Just like get some sustenance in you before just going hog wild into some kind of a pastry.
Yes, and yes, of course. I just appreciate your kindness. I don't. I think I've run out of coin. I do apologize.
At this point, that bottle of wine is snuck back into my bag.
You didn't just immediately pour her a glass of wine.
Hell no.
All right, the two of you leave, and you go down the stairs, and you run right into Harper and Theobun, who are because obviously your conversations are happening at the same time, and they are wrapping up. Theobun explaining why he thinks maybe just relieving her of this problem altogether might be a better option.
All I picture is Theo Bun like, yeah, just one bolt right to the back of the head.
No. Well, and I'm like trying to be like very like not say anything super direct, but I'm like, this is exactly what I'm thinking too.
I mean, Theobun would probably use the word bonk instead of bolt, but I mean,
Just take a hammer.
Guys, I have an idea, actually. I have this ability to, if you give me like 10 minutes, I can talk with the dog upstairs. I can talk to Lancelot. Maybe we get more information from him.
Oh yeah, did Lancelot follow us out of the room?
Oh yeah, he's sticking with
perfect.
you.
It can't hurt.
I mean, for real, I don't think she was necessarily the best mother to Gertrudo. I mean, just reading general body language, the information we potentially got from the storybook, which we haven't shared with y'all yet. I'll let Harper do that. Not to mention that Lancelot seemed rather skittish around the mother. I don't think this was a happy place, even when Gertruda was here.
At least the dog could verify that though. I mean, that's if I had a child and they went missing, I would probably be rather frazzled too.
I'm just saying what my read is. If you want to give Lancelot the
Talk to him.
Yeah, y'all can go ahead, but I mean, I'm just not liking the feeling of this place.
She also wants something called a dream pie. I gave her a ration, but she said that a dream pie would be so much better. But I don't know what those are.
I mean, I doubt that's something Theobun's probably ever heard of before. So, like, in his mind, he might consider that sounds like some kind of drug or something. I don't know.
Now it's really time to bonker.
Paul's the opposite. He's like, it sounds like a drug. Nice.
She gave you specific names: red berry and pine nut, green leaf and cheese, chicken and herbs, and she said they were pies.
Pineapple Express.
I'm sorry, you said pine nut? That actually sounds really good. I would eat a pine nut pie.
So I'm going to, if you guys let me, like 10 minutes, ritual cast Speak with Animals. And you guys can do whatever you want during that time, but I do want to talk to Lancelot.
Yeah,
Right,
I
yeah,
think
go for it.
Theobald's gonna take a look around the outside of the house, see if there's any potential signs of tracks or anything from
Okay.
underneath the girl's window.
Harper will actually go fully inspect the kid's bedroom now because
Oh shit,
it's
we're all
weird.
going someplace different.
Yep.
I'm gonna stick with Apollo and Lancelot, so I'm making it easy.
Okay, so Theobald is looking outside at the tracks. The group of 3 is gonna talk to the dog. And then
No, Harper
is
is going to the
upstairs.
room. It's the 2 plus the dog.
Yeah, that's 2 plus 1 equals
The
3.
group of 3. Lancelot's a member of this
Right?
party down, y'all just have to deal with it.
Are you saying that you as a rabbit is more, you count more as 1 than the dog does?
I think Theobald's just worried that Lancelot's gonna get taken away. That's why he wants to offer.
Okay, let's go ahead. We'll start with Theobald outside. Roll me investigation, survival, either one of those, as you're looking for tracks.
12.
Let me see. Okay. You go to take a look outside. It's so the cobblestone like extends and is kind of surrounding this house, so like getting a good sense of footprints outside of the window is kind of difficult. Um, like, and it's still part of like a a street, and people are kind of walking in between to get to their homes. Like, you definitely in the mud see footprints, but like it's indistinguishable about were they from the window or not. And the size, like being able to even pinpoint the size, is next to impossible because there's just so much foot traffic that has happened. Um, Anything else for Theobald outside?
Likely not.
Okay.
I mean, other than just because it seems like there's not going to be any way to find any tracks out here, and so we'd probably head back inside at that point.
Okay. At the same time as you've gone outside and taken a look, Harper has gone upstairs to investigate in her room. Roll investigation, Heather.
Well, there any other children's toys I can steal?
You think the bone looks like a great children's toy on the floor there?
I'm taking it.
All right. The 2 of you look. I mean, nothing. So, as you were kind of rummaging through up there, like nothing besides what you've seen really stands out to you. beyond that, let's see. Your passive investigation's a 10. So, in thinking about the conversation with Theobun and like maybe the other children are grown, like the one piece of logic that sticks out in your mind is why would there be 3 smaller places to rest if the other children are potentially grown? Like that is a question that you kind of begin to wrestle with a bit, but you're not really sure. Like aside from that, there's nothing else that seems to be jumping out at you. You all come back in, and Apollo is still working on his ritual casting of speak with animals. But as Harper comes down with the bone, Lancelot kind of begins to like taking notice of it, because before, like, he immediately got into bed and he didn't go where the rug was, so he sees you with this bone and begins like kind of spinning around a bit, getting excited about seeing the bone in your hand.
How do I be a jerk to this dog?
Damn. This group is all about being jerks tonight.
No, I'll be not. I'm gonna like see if he actually like knows commands. I'm just gonna be like, sit, lay down. See if he actually like listens to me.
Animal handling.
Oh, shit. We're asking the ranger to ranger again? Come on. Just go. Oh, okay, never mind.
Hey.
At first he is like super energetic about the bone, and it is hard for him to focus. But he eventually figures it out, because you also like have no idea like how long he had been without human contact. I mean, he definitely had the possibility of lots of ghost contact, but you don't know how long he was at the Durst Manor. So it takes him a while, but then you see him immediately. He sits, he hands you his paw, he kind of lays down, rolls around, plays dead. And a bit like he's like always kind of at like the edge, like waiting for you to finally just drop the bone and give it to him.
I'll give him the bone.
Yeah, he takes the bone and he just begins gnawing on it. And then Apollo, you have finished with your ritual casting.
Right.
And you can hear Lancelot, bone, bone, and as he's like chewing on it.
I will try to get the dog's attention and be like, hey, Harper, I now hear him. He wants the bone.
Well, I could have figured that out without you speaking with him, but okay.
I'll try to get Lancelot's attention. Lancelot, I'm now speaking dog.
Bone.
Hey, Harper, can I see that bone for a second?
He has it. The dog has it. He's just like going to town. Yeah, you finished right as Harper handed the dog the bone, finally. And so as he's like chewing it, he just keeps like excitedly saying bone over and over again. I mean, he's a dog. His intelligence is pretty low in comparison.
I'll say Gertruda. See if that holds anything to him.
Yeah, he begins wagging his tail and nice. I'm imagining that's dogs bark. He's like a one-word kind of fella.
I'll say, do you know what happened? Did she leave or get taken? And I'll repeat, leave, taken. Trying to get him just to say one of them.
And everybody else is just hearing him like bark, and like the bark sounds slightly different each time he's like saying a different word. He barks to everyone else, but to you, Apollo, you hear him say window.
She went through the window. All right, I wait
Bone.
for confirmation. Oh, bone. Okay. Uh, I point upstairs. Mother, good, bad, nice,
Hungry.
hungry. All right. She did look hungry. Are you also hungry? Fucking dogs.
No feed.
I need to know if she's no. Oh, she didn't feed you. I like that. She didn't feed it. She's fucking evil.
Door open.
Oh, door open and you left.
Bone.
You can keep the bone. Yes.
Mine.
Do you wish to stay here or do you want to come with us? We'll feed you.
Bunny.
We're not gonna feed you the bunny, but feed you rations. I'll put a ration. Feed you these.
Castlin.
Yes. You know Castlin, yes. Come with us. Castlin, good man. Short though, but good.
Child.
No, but yes.
You all see the dog just kind of like cock his head to the side, like he's trying to make sense of what was just said.
So we'll try to find your girl, but you should not stay here. And I'll point to the dog and I'll point to Castlin. Yes, Gertruda. We'll try to find her, but no guarantees. I know there's probably no way he understood that.
He looks at you and like he bone. And then he others.
I'll look at
Maybe
you.
not
What
others.
others? Huh?
Small ones. He would have said small ones. I'm trying to think like what I think the dog would know to say. We'll go with small ones.
Small ones?
Yeah.
I'll be like, I don't understand.
Bone.
Guys, the small ones mean anything to you? He's the small ones and bones.
Maybe Gertruda had small bones?
Did Gertruda have small bones?
She's small. No, very little food. Very chunked out. That's how he would have said that.
Ask
See
him
if he can.
there were other kids.
Yeah, do some else.
More children? I'll say more children?
Yes.
Are they gone too? Yeah. What did you want to say, Castle?
See if he could sniff out Gertruda. See if he could like follow a trail to her.
Ooh, smart. But more children first? I'm like,
Yeah. Yes.
did they also leave?
Two window, one bag door, and it was bag with a G, not back door.
One bag door. All right, I'll start repeating everything he's saying to everyone else in not dog.
Yeah,
Just so
I
they can follow
assume that
through.
was the case.
And I'll say, can you, and I'll like do the sniffing motion, find Gertruda.
Tried, lost.
Oh, he already tried. It's probably why you found him at the house. Probably got lost. I'll say, you come with us. We'll try our best to find her. And I'll give him 2 thumbs up.
Bone.
Yep, bone. I'm just going to stand up. All right, guys. we're not leaving him here with. I'll point upstairs with her. Didn't feed him.
Mhm.
Well, perfect. We'll feed him then.
Belly
I'll
scratch.
say one last thing. I'll scratch his belly. We'll have these talks daily, okay? Keep you informed.
He again kind of cocks his head to the side, not really understanding.
We're friends now, belly scratch. And I'll shake his paw a little bit. I am Apollo.
Lancelot.
Alright, that's it for me.
The Great.
Oh.
He's a
Guys.
Great Dane.
His title is Lancelot the Great. We've got it all wrong. Alright?
Mhm.
Alright, what's the plan, guys?
Well,
I'm
As
really starting to like
a
Theobald's
bit
plan.
of time has gone by, the crying begins to pick up again.
I still stand by what I said.
Theobald, you look like you want to go check on her.
If you send me go check on her, that crying's gonna stop.
That sounds great. You can make her stop crying.
Y'all ain't gonna like the way I do that. So I'm gonna refrain. Unless we all agree to it.
I mean,
think
you've
we
got my vote, so.
we should at least see if we can like eventually try and find Gertrude. I don't mean like right away or anything, but if I wonder how long it's been since she went missing.
I can ask the dog.
I would say that would be a good question to ask the dog.
Lancelot the Great. How long, girl, gone?
You all do know dogs like have no concept of time,
Just
right?
in time.
Like
How
my dogs act
many
the same
moons?
way. I can be gone for 10 minutes or I can be gone for 10 days and they act the exact, not that we've ever left them, like we've boarded them, and they act the exact same way. He kind of cries a bit. Too long.
Oh,
and you all
too
like
long.
hear like a very audible like dog whimper come from Lancelot.
I'll pet his head.
Above board, like out of character, I'm pretty sure that one of Strahd's goons took Gertruda, and I don't think it's likely we're gonna find her alive, but that's out of character and above board, so
But you use the Theobald accent. There's a slight Theobald accent when you said that.
it was not intentional.
I'm just thinking we'll see what happens.
Mm,
No guarantees.
we'll let the gods decide.
Do we want to check out the Dream Pie side of this, or
I mean, we can.
Take one back to what's his face. I mean, he is letting us stay the night. We'd be good guests to bring something.
I would gather it's rather late.
It's like evening and stuff. Like it's a little bit after supper time. Probably 8 or so is what we're going with because I
Mm,
have completely forgotten where we are at time wise.
We could check in with Ismark and then see if he even knows where to find these things.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I think it's best if we leave for now, retire for the day, and deal with stuff in the morning.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
All right, so the group is heading to Ismark's and Irina's.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you head out. It is, you can feel like the moisture in the air. The fog is not as suffocating, but it does seem to kind of have crept in and around the village a bit, and you begin walking straight ahead towards the home that Ismark had pointed out to you all. Let's go ahead and do a quick break, and then we will come back and go from there. All right, let's aim for a 5-minute break, but chat, if you're watching, I don't think we've ever come back on time, no matter which game it is, but we'll do our best. So 7:35 Central Time is our goal. We will see you in a few, chat.
Yep.
All right, welcome back, chat. We did pretty good. 7:36. That's probably the best switchover break yet. All right, we left off with the party going to Ismark and Irina's. So you all approach the house at the end of the street. You can see that there is light filtering through, and let me. This is the problem with writing in a notebook is I'm just gonna use the old-fashioned way. Okay. As you all approach, you can see this is a much larger home than the one that you were at for Mary's. It also looks to be in a bit better condition. You see this weary looking mansion that is squatting behind a rusting iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate lies cast aside while the left swings lazily in the wind. The stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. There are weeds that are choking the grounds and pressing with menace upon the house itself. Yet, against the walls, the growth has been trampled down to create a path that goes all about the domain. You see heavy claw markings that have stripped the once beautiful finish of the walls of the house on the outside. There are also great black marks that tell of the fires that have assailed the mansion. Not a pane nor shard of glass stands in any window. All the windows are barred with planks, each one marked with stains of evil omen from the outside.
Welcoming place.
It is. Looks like they've had them run at it.
Hey, guys, does every place suck in here, or is it just me?
I'm just waiting to find one happy place, and then we'll just stay there forever. No.
Right. Who wants to take the lead on this one?
I'll go up and knock. I mean, we were invited, so.
You give the door a knock, and as you do, you hear the voice from the other side. It's not Ismark, so I mean you would assume it's Irina. And as she calls, I'm not answering the door. I don't know you all. Please go.
Is Mark not back yet?
You know my brother.
Yes, he invited us over tonight.
Your name, please.
Harper, Caslin, Apollo, and Theobald. I'm not sure which one he gave you.
Oh, that's quite the name. Yes, those are the names that he gave. He's tidying right now. Okay. You may come in, but come in quickly, and you can hear from the other side are undoing various chains, and like it sounds like a chair is being moved away from the door, and she like opens it just like part way and is like kind of ushering you in, and like she peers outside and gives like a sigh when you all are in, and begins to re-barricade the door. I apologize for my behavior. Yes, Ismark did let me know that you all were coming, but I had to be sure.
I mean, no offense taken. He's told us a little bit about what's going on, so I mean, it's only appropriate that you take precautions.
Oh yes, it's been quite terrible here. Our house is no longer a home. I'm sure you took notice of the outside. It was once so beautiful. There were flowers growing all around, and it wasn't quite in the condition that it's in now. but the wolves and other creatures that I don't even really know how to describe, they've been attacking the house night after night for weeks. As you all come in, you can see the interior of the mansion is well furnished, but the fixtures, it shows signs of great wear. You can see noticeable oddities are the boarded up windows. There's a presence of holy symbols like in every room everywhere you look, and you catch wind of an odor of decay, and Irina immediately sees that look on your face, and I'm so sorry. Our father is lying in the drawing room in a simple coffin that we have made for him. We haven't had a chance for a proper burial quite yet.
Hmm.
No one here has been brave enough to help Ismark and I take our father Kolian and Dirovich to the cemetery.
Is that something you'd help with?
Oh no, you are our guest. I wasn't meaning for you to ask you all. I was just simply saying. And you kind of take a look and you can see like the flowers have long since begun to wilt. And she goes, it's been 3 days since he has died. His heart, it just could not take all of the attacks night after night. But ever since he has left this place. Well, at least I hope that he has left this place. The house hasn't been under the attacks that it once was.
Hmm.
Odd.
I don't want to sound insensitive, but the smell doesn't get better with time.
Uh, yes, I know. It is something that yes, I would like to have happen, but I just feel bad asking a group that I only just met to partake in something so personal as this is. But if there is something that you all would be likened to, I would appreciate it. And I know Ismark, and as she says Ismark, he actually comes from upstairs, and he motions to like a living room area that he is actually, let me make sure that's where I'm gonna want you all to be. Let me check my
Interesting.
maps.
On the
Yeah.
attack.
Let me check my maps here.
Where's a good
Oh,
place
yes.
for a wolf to jump through a window?
He like motions to a like a sitting room that has two sofas and a like nice stuffed chair and has brought out blankets and things. He goes, I'm afraid we didn't have any pillows really, but I brought out the blankets that I could find from upstairs. And then he motions the group towards you all, like walk through where your room is for the evening, and he motions you all towards the dining room area. And he says, shall we take and have some food and perhaps discuss some important matters? And Irina kind of takes like she definitely wants to establish her seat at the table kind of approach. Like she does not want a conversation to happen about her without her being present. So like she very much is making sure that this is a conversation she is part of. She doesn't want Ismark to speak for her.
Theobuns is kind of nervous right now. because he's thinking back to what the letters said, as well as like the little tidbits Ismark had mentioned, and he doesn't want to be the one to broach that subject yet, but he feels like that subject needs to come up. So his eyes are just kind of darting to the party.
I will bring up before anything. I'll ask Ismark. Is there any way that you'd have like a spare like just like a cheap bowl or something like that we could feed Lancelot in? He's pretty hungry, so.
Ah, yes, and he goes, don't worry, I'd already put some table scraps together. It's not the best, but it shall do for the guy. And he gives him another scratch behind the ears. And he goes
Awesome.
back to the kitchen, which is behind the dining room, and grabs the bowl. And he also begins bringing out a bowls of what looks to be some kind of soup or stew. And he was like, "This was what we had on hand. I added some potatoes to it to maybe make it a bit more filling for you all." And as he is bringing that out, Irina pushes a tray out that has like a teapot on it and teacups. And does anyone want some tea to go with your meal?
I'll take some. Yeah.
Yeah. And they begin to serve the group and making sure that you all have what you need. And Irina brings out some bread, and she does like as soon as she brings out it. It's probably best for dipping instead of eating on its own, I'm afraid. It's more crunchy like a cracker than soft like bread.
Delicious.
Come on, who hasn't had bad bread in their life?
True.
That's like the best kind.
I do appreciate the hospitality, but I think that there needs to be a discussion about the circumstances as to what's going on here.
Ismark looks and he places his teacup down and he says, "I most definitely agree." And Irina like just side eyes him and she goes, "If this is a discussion about me, I feel I am the one that is the most capable of discussing the matter. So what is it? What are the concerns? It seems as though something is concerning everyone here."
Who was the one who had the notes? Did we decide who was holding on to the notes?
I think Castellan has them now.
Yeah, I'll pull both of them out, I guess, and put them both on the table.
Miss Irina, we found a few items on our way here. They both concern you and your family. If you would like to give them a read, I'd appreciate it. That way we can kind of get to the same starting point at least.
As soon as you produce the letter that Ismark said was like his father's handwriting, he like immediately reaches for it and like he's not trying to be rude, but like he grabs it before she has a chance. And he looks at the group and he says, I'm sorry, this portion of the conversation I feel is better if it comes from me versus being read in a letter. And he turns to Irina and he goes, You can read this afterwards. But there are things written by our father in this letter that have never been spoken or said before to either one of us. And I don't want you reading it or being told by our guest here before I've had the opportunity to, well, to say it. And he takes a breath as he does. And the other letter, like, he lets you place that on the table. He doesn't really do anything with that. And he goes, Now, Irina, I mean, you and we look far different from one another, so this shouldn't be maybe as big of a surprise as it might feel. And in that same vein, so Ismark, he is pretty pale complected and he has blonde hair. Irina, on the other hand, is more dark complected. And her hair is an auburn, fiery color. Ismark has blue eyes and her eyes are brown. Like, there are a lot of just very easy distinguishments between the two. And so he continues and he says, Irina, we've joked in our youth about you being adopted. And no one confirmed that one way or the other. But this letter here from our father, and it has a seal, and we can go and grab his journals and compare their handwriting. There is no doubt that this is his. Well, he confirms that you were adopted.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I'm gonna re-pull out that wine and just push it over to Irina.
You can have some inspiration, Apollo. I feel like that was very fitting. Irina looks and she looks at you and she goes, May I?
It's all yours.
And she, like, you didn't even really get the words out, and she just already begins to take a swig right from the bottle, like, all manners pushed aside. And it's very clear, like, these two have been brought up with manners, but, like, nope. And so my whole life I have felt as though I didn't belong here, and I've asked, and you've asked, and we've joked, and no one has confirmed where it is I come from. No one thought that I deserved to know. That I deserved to know that I had another family out there. Now, Irina, we are your family. Father and I, we're your family, and Mother, when she was here too. Ismark, that's not the same, and you know it. I never felt as though this was my place. I felt like I was wandering and I couldn't find where I needed to go. And yes, you're right. You are my family. You are my brother. You will always be my brother. But what if I have another brother or a sister? Or what if I have another mother or father? And this was just kept from me? I know, it really is. Hashtag, this is me every Wednesday morning when I have to do social and emotional lessons with my students. I just therapy with myself. It's great. So I'm very well versed. And she continues, now he chooses to tell me when he's dead and getting ready to be in the ground. This is when he chooses. Not for the weeks where we felt trapped here and we were just stuck here at night, unable to sleep. He didn't think to tell me then. And so what does this mean? Is this why all these things are happening? Am I the reason? Now, Irina, no. We know damn well the reason is Strahd. That monstrosity is, for whatever reason, latched on to you. And he is the reason our father is dead. He had years left in him, but he sucked that right out of him. She gets a little bit quiet and she takes the letter and she reads, and it's as she's reading it, when she gets to the part that says that she has been bitten by a vampire, you see her like reach for her neck, and then she turns to Ismark and she goes, "So it's even more than this. You said there was nothing to worry about. I have been bitten." He hangs his head low and, "Yes, I'm afraid that you have. I believe he has come twice now and has drawn your blood twice. I'm not sure at what point does he win at this. We just have to do our best and try." And Ismark turns to the group and he says, I'm sorry that this is the conversation you are having to be a part of. This isn't the way that anyone should hear this, and again, I mean no offense, strangers present. This is a family matter, but we need help. And so you want to discuss what is happening? Well, she is not safe here. My father, who was a greater man than I, was unable to protect her, and I'm not sure that I can either. And I will live up to his word the best that I can. I will try to do anything that I can if you all are able to help take her from this place, to get her away from the cruelty that is Strahd.
Theobon, did she end up taking the wine?
Oh yeah, she's drinking the bottle. Like she's slamming
Okay.
it back.
That's our girl.
I just wasn't sure, so I wanted to. Theobon's gonna look between the two, between Irene and Ismar. Now, look, I don't think that there's anything specific we can do to stop him at this time. We can try to run. Your brother was planning. Pardon me for speaking it. Was planning on trying to get you out of here.
Yes,
And take you on the road.
He told me to Valakai. He feels that would be safer. Valaki rather.
I mean, it might be a little bit safer, but I think at the end of the day, if Strahd has truly come for you in that way and has bitten you, he can find you basically anywhere, as far as I know. I don't know all that much about vampires, but this Strahd seems like a very old and powerful one. And who knows what he could be capable of doing.
He's only as powerful as we let him be. Ismark pounds his fist against the table. I don't wish to play cat and mouse with him. I stand by what I said. I think if we can get Irina someplace safer, I've heard that the grounds in Valaki are still holy. If we can get her to those places, he will not be able to invade on her. He hasn't been here in days. This could be the moment.
If there are still holy grounds in Valaki, that could actually be good for all of us. But How long before you want to be on the road, though, is my biggest question.
Irina looks at the group and she looks at Ismark and she goes, I do not wish to leave until our father has been properly buried. We owe him that much, Ismark. Ismark lets a little bit of a sigh and nods. And yes, yes, we do. And then,
I mean,
go ahead.
if y'all want help putting him to rest, I can certainly lend my aid to such an endeavor. But remember, if y'all go to Valaki and try to use this hallowed space here, you're only going to be able to stay there for so long. Because while, yes, Strahd may not necessarily be able to get to you there, but he's going to always know exactly where you are. Because it's the one place he can't get to. And who knows how many potential agents he might have roaming the countryside of Barovia. If we put her there, we cannot just all stay there. We need, if you are wishing to overthrow him, the rest of us are going to need to be taking steps to accomplish that goal at the same time. Because I doubt we would be able to, how should I say this, do much at this stage.
Ismark looks and he goes, as hard as this is to say, I do agree with the logic there. I mean, that part's not hard, but what's coming will be. I feel if she stays here, she is a sitting duck on the water. But if she were to go, whether it's to Valaki or really anywhere other than here, that at least gets her out of his immediate reach. You see how the castle just towers over, watching the village of Barovia. All his eyes are always here on us. But I do think, and I know you're not going to want to hear this. I think that yes, Theobald, you were right. We need to begin to prepare for a battle, if not a war. And I think that my place might be here. There are young men here who I can continue to train, as I've trained Irina some in combat, and perhaps that will be of greater service. And with my father gone, there is no leader here, and we don't want it to be one of Strahd's minions or spies, so it is going to be best if I were to resume that role, which I can't do if I go with.
Not to be rude, but do you really think you can get anyone to follow you with a name like the Lesser following you behind?
Fucking asshole.
I mean, let's be real. I mean, Harper's gonna like harp on that shit. He's not exactly a fan of it, but I mean, he knows where he stands.
When you say that, Irina looks and goes, "He is not the lesser. No one has given him the chance. Of course, he's going to seem as though he is less than when our father was such a great man. But now, well, now our father isn't here. He doesn't have to be in the shadows anymore." Ismark, as long as we lay to rest, Father, I am willing to do whatever you feel is best. And if you think that this is the group that will be able to protect me and take me someplace here or anywhere else, then so be it. I'm willing to go. I'm willing to take my sword and travel the countryside in hopes of not falling prey to him any longer.
Mm.
If we do intend on splitting up and you remain here, we're going to need.
You cut out at the end. You're gonna
Oh.
need some what?
Yeah, we're gonna need some either a map or if Irina knows the way, because we're not gonna know the way to this Balaki by ourselves. And I mean, if there is hallowed ground there, that is going to be the best place to put her for the immediate future. But it isn't a long term solution.
Yes, we can sketch out a map to give you some general directions. That is no problem whatsoever. It is a little outdated. We haven't traveled uh quite as far as that, but I know my father he kept maps of the area and the region, so that should be no problem whatsoever.
Well, then it sounds like we might have some sort of an idea, I guess.
In that case, I do believe that unless you be wanting to put your father to rest tonight, we all retire for the evening after we finish our meal. Unless y'all have further things you wish to ask of us.
Irina is just killing the bottle at this point, and she's like I mean, she's holding her wine well, but like she's also a little emotional, and she takes a look at the group and the letters that you all have placed, and she still has like a little bit left in the bottle, and she looks to you all. If you don't mind, I'd like to take these and well, I won't destroy them or anything. I need to make sense of them more. If it's okay if I were to hold on to these for now.
Of course.
Perfectly acceptable.
And she kind of tilts the bottle towards you, Apollo, and thank you for this, and I do appreciate it more than I can ever say or repay you for.
Should we just see me dipping the bread as it got really soggy as I've just been watching everything? No problem at all.
This food is fantastic, by the way.
You might need a spoon for that. I think you forgot about it. Might have to scoop it out like Oreos and milk. She obviously didn't say the last part. Or maybe
Silly
she did.
me.
We've invented Oreos.
Yes. And she retires for the evening, and she goes upstairs. Ismark kind of gives you the general tour, if you will. On the main floor, you of course have the dining room that you all have been in, and he like showed the kitchen. Because there's not much here, but if you are needing some more bread later, or if you are wanting more any vegetables or anything, please feel free. Or if Lancelot needs anything at all, that is fine. The pie on the counter, Irina baked it, so do with that which you will. He kind of chuckles.
Did one of y'all ask about that pie place?
Oh yes, we're supposed to. Well, I guess when we stopped to talk to, I can't remember what her name was, but she was extremely sad, just crying nonstop. Uh, She asked for a dream pie. Do you know what that is? We have no clue what that is.
Yes. There is an older lady who will sometimes push a cart around and sell them to people. Um, I we Irina and myself have never had any, but supposedly they are very tasty. Just beware, eating things that are sweet. Sometimes you tend to eat too much of it.
I definitely agree. I wouldn't keep up such a solid short figure if I ate too many sweets.
I suppose that's one way of looking at it.
But you hear they're really good.
Yes,
Oh,
that is what I've heard. I may have had a bite or two, but I've never had the whole pastry or the whole pie like some tend to do. That just seems a little too much for me. Just a nibble here and there. And Ismark is like taking a look at his figure. Like he's in shape. It's very clear. Like he not worries, but cares about his physique. He's got better stats than you all, and that's without me fudging them.
Perfect. He can take on Strahd.
Yep.
What I'm hearing is we're gonna kill Ismark later. Got it.
Why does this guy have a stat block?
What's a stat block?
I mean,
So Theobald's
go ahead.
gonna finish eating his veggies and berries. Didn't partake of the soup because he didn't want to be impolite and ask if it was vegetarian, so he just chose not to consume any of it and is just nibbling on the bread and his packet of berries. And we'll just kind of look to the group. Well, now I'm gonna look to retire for the evening. And Theobald will hop down from his chair that he was sitting on. I'm assuming there's like a bunch of side rooms.
Yeah, so there's like a drawing room, den room, but that is where it's actually where Ismark, once he leaves the group, that's where he goes and sits for a while because that's where his father currently is. Is morbid as that is. But then like there's like a main big room and that's where he has it set up for you all, the dining room, and then behind it the kitchen. And then there's also like a powder bathroom area off of the kitchen.
Before Ismark leaves, I do want to ask him, is there like anything that I could do to maybe shore up the house a little bit, or like at least give us some kind of warning? I do have like a bell and a string. Is there some spot that you think they would be most likely to try and come through?
You and that damn string and bell.
It's never let me down yet. So-
He looks at you and I well, I mean she won't like it if I say it, but the real weak point of entry is Irina's window.
Oh, Irina, no.
Like time to go mac on the sister.
Well, I guess if Irina's okay with it, do you have any problem with me putting a bell and string in her window?
Well, it's better than sticking your head through and biting her, I suppose.
That is probably true. You are correct. I'll go look for Irina and ask her if I can.
Yeah, you go up the stairs, and you like the upstairs is larger. There's kind of like a there's a sitting area upstairs, but then there's very clearly three pretty large bedrooms, and you can see the candlelight coming out from underneath one. So you assume that is the room that she's in. The door is shut, but like slightly ajar. You can't really see into it at all, but you approach and you give it a knock, and as you do, she answers, who is it?
It's Caslin. I just wanted to ask if it would be okay if I set up like some kind of warning system in your window or something, just in case if anyone tries to come through. So
Uh, my brother, he doesn't trust me. Yes, one second. Just one moment, please. And you kind of hear her shuffling about. It sounds like she is maybe looking for a robe or something to put on. And then after a few moments of the shuffle, okay, yes, you can come in.
okay, I'll come in and I'll say it actually wasn't even really his idea. It was more me. I'm just paranoid. So then I'll try and
Okay.
set up.
Yeah, you approach her window. I mean, it's boarded up, and like, and you can tell it's boarded from like the outside and the inside. Like, Ismark has like gone to the best efforts that he can, trying to make it so getting access to this window is a challenge. It should be a challenge. Like, he's doing the best that he can with it.
Okay. I'll still set up like some kind of I'll using my roguish abilities, I'll try and find the best way that I could set up something that would at least alert, because it wouldn't be loud enough, I'm guessing, to alert anyone downstairs, but to alert her at least. It's not like we have the Liberty Bell hanging from this thing, but
Maybe I was gonna give you the Liberty Bell. Why are you taking that right away
oh.
from me? Yeah, I mean, you take a look. You kind of feel like maybe right center on the window, so it's like right in the middle and stringing it across. And you begin to work on getting that hung up and in place. And I mean, she's watching you and kind of like she's not rude towards you, but like you can tell she's annoyed. It definitely isn't at you. Like she's annoyed because like she still thinks this was something to do with Ismark rather than your own idea.
He seems like a really good brother. I had a brother and I kind of messed it up, but I definitely think he seems like a good one. So.
Do you think he knew?
Do you think he knew what?
Well, what the letter said. I assume you read it. Do you think he knew?
Well, these things are always kind of tough. I think a lot of times we have an idea at least, but until someone is actually fully made aware, they can't really act on those ideas.
Why do you think? Why do you think no one told us then? Why keep something like that a secret? Everyone always
That's
looked at me funny, and now it makes sense. It's because I didn't belong. I'm not one of them. Who am I even?
I wouldn't so much say that you didn't belong or anything. I think people are just odd beasts, I guess. We we don't like to address hard to answer questions.
I suppose that's fair. You said you had a brother. What happened?
Well, I kind of messed everything up. We used to travel around a lot. My whole family did, and I stole from them. So
From your family?
yeah, we would travel around to different bars, and they would play music, and finally I just got to the point that I wanted to go off on my own, and I didn't have anything for myself, so I made a terrible decision to steal from them.
Do you think they even know that it was you if you left when it was stolen? What if they're worried? Maybe they thought you were taken.
I guess I never thought about it that way. They could think that. Uh, just from them knowing me in general, I would expect that they would think that I stole it, but maybe they don't.
But would they think that you'd steal from them? I mean, family tends to only see the best or see what they want to see, you know? So they might think that you've been taken along with whatever it was that you had stolen.
True. I guess we've kind of given each other some things to think about, and now that I think about it, technically I have been stolen. I'm in a land that I never even knew I wanted to go to.
So you all are adventurers then too. You're not from anywhere in the lands of Barovia.
I had never heard of Barovia until, well, I guess just a couple of days ago when we stumbled upon the Durst Manor.
Oh, the Durst. They live up the road here. It's such a charming family.
Well, they were.
They were. I just saw them the other day. Yesterday, maybe no. This morning, Mrs. Durst. She came by to pay her respects.
Oh, well, that's somewhat unnerving. Is this the ones that, I guess,
Rose and
do they
Thorn
live in like
are their children, and they just had a precious baby boy, Walter.
oh, well, maybe I'm thinking of a different house.
Maybe, because I
But
mean, their house is maybe 10 doors down. Not too much more than that. And you said you've been around for a few days. I don't think that would make sense that we have only just now met. If you've been here for a little while.
yeah, I guess maybe I'm somewhat confused on my timing too. So it has been a very long day in general. So
Ah, yes, that I can understand. Well, it was nice chatting, but I'm a bit worn and I still have so much to process. But I'm glad that you are here. I it's been so nice meeting you all.
well, it's nice for us to meet you and Ismark also. It's and hopefully this bell if anything happens tonight will warn you and wake you up. So and then I'll duck out and say thank you very much.
All right. Anything else from anyone else as you're getting ready to retire for the evening?
Just want to say out of character. What the fuck is going on?
The DM's fucking
Another
with
Durst
you.
house? Is there like a study that I could go and rummage around in? Because we know nothing about this land. I kind of just
What are you talking
want to take
about?
a peek.
Harper has a book about the whatever stories of Barovia or whatever I had called it. Stories
Is
from
that not a
Barovia.
children's book?
Yeah, it's a children's book.
The children's book.
All right, I'm looking for an adult book. Not like
my
not like an
stream's not
adult
rated
adult,
for
but
that. Are you drow? Is that your flavor? What are we looking for here?
all right, never mind. I'm going to bed. Never mind.
Play vampire.
Oh. So the room that you're staying in does have some shelves that are lined with various books.
Is there any like? It's gonna sound nerdy, but like a history book or something.
What do you think this is? School?
Or maybe like Tall Tales, Heroes of Barovia. I don't know. Anything that the original Burgomaster might have had.
Yeah, you begin rummaging through. I mean, a lot of it looks to be like family bookkeeping books, books about like the town, you know, like names, births, deaths, that type of thing. Um, and like nothing is super jumping out at you at first. Go ahead and roll an investigation for me.
Can I guide myself?
Yeah.
All right.
Doesn't that just mean you touch yourself while you look for the adult books?
Yes. All right. Investigation. No, never mind. Doesn't matter.
What is something that would be really interesting to Apollo besides stuff about Barovia?
That's interesting. I guess like music. Enjoys music.
Yeah. As you are rummaging through, you find like a book with different like melodies and things in it, and you kind of get lost in that and forget what it was you were looking for on the bookshelf.
I'll nab it and go lay down while I'm like looking through it.
Okay. Anyone else? Anything that you'd like to do?
I'm debating on if I want to go harass Mark, but I might not. I've
You're
got
debating if you
questions,
want to
but those
what?
could be safe. Go harass Mark.
Oh, while he's sitting with his dead father.
Yeah, it's been 3 days.
Man, it's been 3 years over here. Oof.
He's had time.
It's been enough time.
You don't have to keep watch. It's only for the first 24 hours. Everyone knows that.
Okay, you gonna go bother Ismark?
Yeah, I'm gonna go bother him.
Let's go.
So you approach the scent of decay is definitely a bit stronger. Make a Constitution saving throw for me.
I'm gonna throw up on his dad. This is not gonna go.
Yeah, I mean. Oh, that's interesting. It shows up as a shadow for me. Maybe my foundry is broken. Yeah, I mean, you just walk, like, you are on a mission, you just kind of beeline it right past, and you see in the room that you enter, Ismark is sitting in a, pretty comfy looking, stuffed chair. There's another, second one beside him, in front of the fire. He's kind of poking at it, as you come in. He, looks up and, his eyes meet yours, and is there something wrong? Is there anything I can do for you?
No, nothing wrong. I just figured we could have a chat.
I apologize, and he nods towards his father's casket that he is decaying in. And he goes, you can take a seat if you wish, or we can go somewhere else if you'd rather.
It seems like you want to stay here, so we can do it. We can chat here. It doesn't bother me.
I wish I could say the same. It saddens me, but here I at least can feel as though I'm getting wisdom from him from being near. What is it that I can? How can I assist?
I do feel like I should apologize earlier, but for my remark on calling you the lesser, but I assume that would mean your father was the greater then?
Even
Or was he
he.
just great?
Well, even he couldn't live up to the name that my grandfather placed in front of us. He really kind of established everything. I was named after him, and I think that's why I become the disappointment. But Ismark and Antonovich the Great, he was one who uh, would fight tooth and nail with any of vampires or other monsters and things, and it seems my father took more of an approach of caring for the people versus uh being a general of sorts. And then I guess I've kind of tried to do both, and in that regard I've ended up being lesser because you can't juggle both things at once.
Hmm. So your father was just your father then, no grand titles?
I mean, he was the burgomaster, and people did associate him with greatness, I suppose, but he didn't have a statue erected for him in the middle of the town.
Yeah, but statues take time to build, and considering your current situation here, I don't really see that happening anytime soon.
I
But I have a
suppose that's
question.
true. Yes, how can I
So,
assist?
do you think your father made the right decision to care for the people instead of going out and being some great vampire hunter or whatever it was your grandfather was?
I guess I'd never really given it much thought. I mean, he could wield a sword for sure, but he was a different kind of brave than what I remember my grandfather being and what I remember the stories being. And I don't know. I I personally I think that you have to have a little bit of both.
Hmm. So have you only started taking over 3 days ago when your father passed, or did you start trying to take over before that?
Oh no, he before all this mess with the attacks on our home here, there was no need. He was healthy. He was fit as a fiddle and everything, but I think he could sense that Strahd's presence was uh, getting closer and closer to Irina, and he was afraid of what would happen. And I think that caused him to lose sleep, and then he stopped eating, and he just kind of lost more and more of himself each night when the attacks happened.
Mm. Alrighty then. Well, I'm gonna get up as I'm leaving the room and be like, well, since it seems like you haven't had time to actually do anything, then I have a feeling the lesser might not stick then. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go off and go to bed.
As you're leaving, he gives a nod. Thank you for that. I do hope I can prove myself as my those before me have.
Hmm. Well, as long as he feels good about himself now, that's all we need.
All right. Anyone else have anything that you would like to do before retiring for the evening? Okay. Um,
Dude.
Go ahead.
Do they have anything set up for their father's internment yet?
Like anything arranged for it?
Yeah.
No, they would have mentioned in the conversation over dinner wanting to have him taken to the church, and there's a Father Donovich there that they would like him to, if he's willing, conduct a real small intimate ceremony.
And I'm assuming that's in Valaki.
No, it's in town here in Barovia, so like it is the down past, like it's kind of up on a hill and stuff. Like if the mist aren't creeping around it, you'd be able to see it from where they are. So it's not far.
I just didn't know if they had already plans set up or anything. So
Okay. Yeah, no, they would have asked you all to go in the morning and speak with Father Donovich as they kind of finish up anything here, have like last moments, to have a moment or whatever, and then you all would help get their father to the church. All right. Are you all resting, watching? What would we like to do for the evening?
Theobald's retiring for the evening.
Theobald's gonna what?
He would retire for the evening. If the group wants to take watch, he'll take one of the later watches.
I would say, since it wasn't brought up beforehand, I just fell asleep reading this book.
Fair enough.
I mean, the brother seems like he'll stay up all night, so I don't see a need to stay awake.
Caslin, are you sleeping?
Oh no, I was muted. I was saying, seeing that everyone else just like is just going to bed, I will spread like 200 ball bearings in front of the front door, and then plan on going to bed.
Dennis the Menace.
All right. Let us see. Oh, that like
Didn't
freaked
mean
me
to,
out. Your
use
ball
that.
bearings popped up all of a sudden.
Yeah, I didn't mean to use it, but I was just trying to change my quantity down to 800.
As the group settles in for the evening and drifts off to sleep, this is probably the safest any of you have felt in a since arriving in Barovia. Still skeptical, but like, they are here and alive, and that's, more than you felt like you were going to be a few days ago, or in the case of Apollo, you don't even know how long it was that you were wandering around. It is just after about 1 in the morning when you hear, actually, let me, perceptions. Caslin, you would be the only one with your passive and taking off for you being asleep. something in the middle of the night wakes you, Caslin. It most likely the dog. And as you're laying there trying to fall back asleep, you hear what sounds like a voice coming from outside, and you aren't like super sure. You don't recognize the voice that is coming, but it's very clear that it's calling for someone whose name is Tatiana, is what you initially make out as you are sitting and listening. I conveniently have lost the tab that I need. So if it seems like I'm stalling, I most certainly am. Oh, too many tabs.
Got the wrong house, bro.
Go away. Yeah, it keeps bringing the wrong thing up.
Suddenly, we hear a boombox playing "Careless Whisper."
Okay. I'm just gonna wing it. I feel like I've done enough writing.
You can do
Let's
it.
see.
I believe in you.
can. Okay. You hear what sounds like a deep, old-fashioned voice calling from outside. Tatiana, I've waited long enough. And then, so you hear the boom, and you begin to hear shuffling coming from outside. You immediately do hear Ismark, though, rising up from the room that he was in. He did stay down on the main floor, in the den area, and he goes to approach the door. And as he goes to approach the door, let's let me only be fair. Let me roll a dexterity. Oh, that's so creepy that it's not showing my dice. You suddenly hear him just slide and slam right into the door. You don't hear another thud like he's hit the ground, but you do hear him sliding across on those ball bearings, and he slams right into the door. Well, what the? Oh. And he kind of shouts, and I would say that would be loud enough for the rest of the group to kind of begin waking up, and he tries that peeking through like a crack in the door, and not this again. Just leave us of this place. There is no need for this. Is anyone awake? Can someone go and check on my sister? Quick, be quick, please. And he's like, very urgently screaming towards the group. You see that he is grabbing, as he's talking, a heavy crossbow out. I'm assuming that you have dark vision. If you don't see shit. Because it is a little darker in here now. And he's grabbing out a heavy crossbow, and he yells, "Be gone! Just leave us from this place." What would the group be doing at this point?
Since I was already awake, I would definitely, and somewhat giggling a little bit, I would grab the, now that everyone knows the name of it, the Sword of Mockery out of I guess wherever I had it, kinda, and I guess I'll light a lantern too, so that I can see, because I have a lantern in my consumables,
Okay.
and I'll head up to check on Irina.
Yeah, you begin to head upstairs to find Irina. You go, and like as you are going up, you hear the boards that are on the window. Well, you assume that that is what it is. Just kind of blast like right off. It sounds like that they've just been ripped from the wall that they are hammered into. And when you get to the room, you do see Irina, and she seems to be in kind of like a trance like state, and she's moving towards the window.
God. Uh, I guess I'll just like shout her name and try to like grab her and shake her out of it or something like that.
Yeah, you grab her and you begin to shake. Go ahead. It's so hard. Like, let's have you do a persuasion.
Persuasion. Hey, not bad.
Okay. You give her a shake, and as you do, she no, Caslin? What's going on? Is everything all right? You
You
hear behind you your bell is ringing.
I'll just kind of point to the bell and say we should get downstairs probably.
He's here, isn't he? He's back again.
He might be. You seemed like you were in a trance when I came in, so
Oh, thank you. And she just hugs onto you for a moment. Okay. And you see her pause as you all go to leave, and she grabs from the side of her bed a sword that she carries down with her. Or rather, a rapier. At this point, those of you down below would have had time to begin waking up if you need to put armor on or anything. You've had some time, and outside you can just hear a lot of like moaning and groaning coming from the other side. You hear shuffling on the other side, and Ismark is still kind of positioned at the door. There's like a slight crack in like the door where it looks like he has kind of made it so he can fire a badly aimed shot out of it, but like he is kind of positioned in case anything were to get close, and he looks around at the group. I don't know if it's better if we go out and face them or if we stay here. I'm not sure what the best course is. If you want to maybe try moving one of the boards at a window and attacking that way, it looks as though these are some of the stronger zombies in the region.
Was there any light in the house?
So Caslin lit some of the candles before he went to go get Irina.
All right. I'm gonna cast light on my shield then, just so the bottom floor has some light.
Okay.
And after I put on all my armor.
Because I have a hooded lantern that I lit, so
Yeah. All right, and I think this is a really, because we finish about 9, so I think this is a good place to go ahead and end at. For tonight, we will be playing next week, and we'll pick up with rolling initiative and starting from there and hanging out with some zombies.
Combat.
Boy, zombies.
Hey, but these ones are special. These ones are confusing. All right, chat. If you were tuned in and you were watching, thank you for tuning in. We will be back next week with some combat right away and going from there. All right, we will see you all next time.
See you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.